But I've and this football stand. Welcome if you have just joined. Thank you to those who are in the live chat. Liam Martin, Jack Vlogs, Patrick Jude, Liam, not Liam. Oh Jesus Christ! OpenNet, David Hoyle, etc. Thank you all very much for tuning in. Welcome live. This is the United. Manchester United, should I say, 2019 to 2020 fixtures live. And it does say tough months. And we'll explain why in a minute, because we don't have an easy August, and we'll obviously talk through month by month the fixtures. So welcome those who've joined. Thank you all for joining. Please do leave a like and get your comments in the comment section if you are watching this as a video. And if you're watching this as a live stream at the minute, please do leave your comments in the live chat. I'm just going to check the quality of this stream. Thank you very much. Is that the correct quality? Hallelujah. It's raining, man. No, it's not. Sorry about the sun reflecting in there. Just trying to switch this around. There you go. Switch that around. That'll make it better. What would a fixtures video be without having a guest? It is the man who is actually going to be on Thursday night's transfer show. And as I say, big thank you for coming on such short notice, mate. It is Kevin from Meadow Weekly.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on, Daryl. Appreciate it. I love coming on your stream. So thank you very much for having me on once again, and I'm excited to talk about the fixtures.
Yep, cheers very much for coming on. Apologies, it was such short notice, mate. We did have a couple of hiccups before the stream. That's why I've had to change the. That's why I changed the time. Nothing to do with Kevin, by the way. It was just. I was just waiting for something. But as I say, we're going to get straight on to it. And welcome to, by the way, someone just joined the live chat. I'm trying to remember who it is. When actually, today might be nice. Welcome to Nick Muller. Thank you very much for joining. He's just put hi all just in time. Thank you all for joining. But Gaming, thanks very much for joining. Any chance of Neymar coming? It's just I've been hearing that Neymar wants to go to Manchester to see his sister. By the way, I've got a taxi waiting, so make sure Neymar comes bobbins. To be honest, I highly doubt Neymar's going to come to United, but I will mention that on Thursday's transfer show, because as we leave the transfers for Thursdays. Leaving for fixtures is fixed. Why do we get Chelsea versus games? Seeing other clubs get easy games. And I wouldn't say they really get easy games. And Newcastle's got Arsenal, and that's a tough game for them. But anyway, as I was going to say, let's get straight into it. So we got August, 4 games, 2 of them probably tough ones. We start with a good old classic. Should I say the Mourinho game? Because he did manage both of these teams. It's Manchester United against Chelsea at Old Trafford on the 11th of August, the first game in the Premier League, and I think the 10th game of the weekend. We had a last game of the first weekend of fixtures. We are on Sky Sports. Classic game, that one. It's us lot against David Hoyle and Darren Richards and all those other Chelsea fans. Tough game, that one at home. If I was going to predict, I'd say a 1-1 draw for the Chelsea game, which I'd probably take for the first game. Then we have Wolves away on the following weekend. Not a good game. I'll admit my confidence is low for that because we never win at Wolves. So, to be honest, I doubt we'll win. I think we'll probably get beat 2-1 yet again. So you always get beat 2-1 there. That'll be a defeat. Palace at home depends because obviously in terms with Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the minute, currently in links with him. So we could get him. If we don't get him, I don't think it'd be easy, but I do think that is a winnable game. In no disrespect at all to Crystal Palace, I think we could win that game, probably 2-0 or something. I'm saying these now, we don't know whether they're going to be the exact scores. Depends what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does, really. And then 31st is Southampton away. Now, last couple of times we played Southampton away, we have struggled. So I think but the fact of playing Southampton could be a tough game. It could be a backs-to-the-wall game, actually, because it has been a case before. But I think we'll probably win it this time. I think 2-1 win at Southampton, ending August on 7 points out of 12, which I'd probably take. How do you think we'll get on in August?
Yeah, well, I think, well, I think actually against Chelsea, first game of the season at Old Trafford, I feel like we have a good record against Chelsea, even though last season we did draw. We did draw with them and we played pretty poorly. I think we do have a very good record against Chelsea at Old Trafford. So I'd say that we could sneak a win. I think it will be tight because, of course, Chelsea, it's their first game of the season. They're going to really, going to be raring to go as well. But without Hazard, I think they've got a real problem. So I think ultimately we'll sneak a win in that one. I reckon it'll be a 2-1 victory. So I think we'll start off with 3 points. Going away to Wolves is going to be very, very tricky. I'd be very, very surprised if we do get the win out of that one. If we do come away with 6 points from those first 2 games, I'll be over the moon because they're very, very difficult indeed. I think Wolves away is always going to be difficult for top 6 sides, especially how they approached them last season. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw away from home against Wolves. But again, I couldn't really predict that one. Yeah, I think if we do get a draw in that game, it won't be the end of the world. Of course, we expect to beat teams like Wolves, but they are coming up and potentially could finish in the top 6 next season. Southampton is going to be a difficult one as well. And no easy games in the Premier League, of course, but Southampton have caused us problems, of course. Last season, they ended up scoring 5 goals in the 2 games that they played against us. So they have caused us a lot of problems in the past. And I think they'll cause us more problems. I feel like we will get over the line as well. So I feel like we're going to finish. Actually, is there any other games after that Southampton game?
I think you missed out Crystal Palace.
Oh yeah, Crystal Palace. So I think, well, yeah, I feel like we'll beat Crystal Palace. I mean, potentially with the Wan-Bissaka deal as well. If we're able to take Wan-Bissaka off them, I think that'll be just a bit of extra. We'd add a bit of extra firepower to our squad, and I think would be too much for Crystal Palace. I think we will start the season well. I think we usually do start the season all right, except for last season, of course, which was an absolute disaster. But I feel like this season we're going to start well. I think we're going to have probably 10 points out of our first 4. And I think we're going to get wins against Chelsea, Crystal Palace and Southampton. Unfortunately, I feel like we're going to draw against Wolves, but it's the Premier League, very, very unpredictable, and it's very, very, you can't say where it's going to go what way it's going to go. But if I had to kind of look at the way we usually come into the season and look at the other teams, I reckon 10 points would be about right. And you know what? I wouldn't be too dissatisfied with that.
I mean, to be honest, we're both going towards the same. I mean, as long as we get at least 6 points from the first 12, I think that'll be all right. It's obviously not our greatest, but I think we take it looking at some of those fixtures. I mean, 10 points, it is optimistic, to be honest. There's no, can't beat a bit of optimism, can't you?
Exactly.
I'm not even sure if we even see us getting a point at Wolves, because if you look at Wolves in the past, I agree, that they're coming up. They're in Europe now. But that first month, they might be more focused on the European competitions. So, we might have a chance. But I highly doubt it, if I'm being honest. 10 points out of 12, I'd happily take that any day of the week. If it means unbeaten going into September, which 1 or 2 big games in there, I think we take that. Let us know in the live chat what your thoughts are. David Hoy, thanks for joining the stream, by the way. David Hoy actually told me something yesterday when I was on the call playing him on FIFA and beating him 6-5. No idea how that happened, but yesterday FIFA was just glitched for some reason. Last minute goal. David did tell me that Chelsea have actually not lost their first game of the season since 2002. If that's the case, then we're well up against it. So
yeah, definitely.
Still, it's going to be a tight game. No, I still think we've got it in us though to actually get something out of us. Oh yeah, championship fixtures are on Thursday, Thursday morning actually. Video will come out sometime in that week when I can actually get it in. It won't be Thursday, of course. We'll be doing the transfer show live. So into September. So I've gone 7 out of 12. You've gone 10 out of 12. September, Leicester City at home. Last time we played them at home, we beat them by 1 goal, 2-1. And that was, I believe, Marcus Rashford and Luke Shaw. No, it wasn't Rashford. It was Pogba and Luke Shaw, sorry, who scored the goals. So, you know, it's a bit mixed, really. Could win, could draw. I doubt we'll lose because we don't really lose against Leicester unless we lose 5-3 again like we did before a couple of seasons back. I think we'll beat Leicester because I think we'll have the odds to beat them, obviously. But I do think it'll be tight. I think that'll be either 1-0 or 2-1. I'll probably go for 2-1 for that one. And Jorak Hund, I cannot give you a shout out there because it's not. We don't do shout outs on the streams unless it's the prediction thing. So sorry about that. Tactical Shop, thank you very much for joining the stream. And Nick Mullins put, love to get Norwich in the League Cup at home on Newport. Good luck with that. You'd probably get tonked, by the way, just not disrespecting you, but you probably would get tonked against Norwich. So Leicester 2-1, I think we'd beat them at home. West Ham, well, we didn't get anything there last season, but I think that could change. Could get a draw out of that. And then Arsenal, draw. So that is 5 points out of a possible 9, which I'd take. As long as it's anything above halfway, that'll do. So I think win against Leicester, draw against West Ham, draw against Arsenal. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, well, Leicester, I think, yeah, I agree with you. I think we are going to get 3 points. I feel like Leicester are a good side as well. Last season, we had 2 very, very close games against them, and they've got some quality players. That being said, if the top clubs do come in for the likes of Madison and Maguire, and they don't replace them adequately, then potentially they could lose a bit of their strength. But if they do manage to hold on to their players and they manage to strengthen themselves, they could become a really, really good side in the Premier League. But I think we will be able to get over the line. We've got a very good record against Leicester, and I'm hopeful for that. So I think another 3 points in that one. Away from home against West Ham, they're a decent little side as well. On their day, they can beat anyone. They've got some brilliant talent. Felipe Anderson is a wonderful player on his day. Arnautovic, of course, I've got Hernandez as well, former United player. Some decent signings as well. Look, it looks like they're going to make some decent signings. Sorry, and if they do recruit well, I think they could be a real proposition for us. And away from home is never easy against West Ham. So if I was to be optimistic, I'd say we get the 3 points. But I think I'm going to agree with you as well. I think it is going to be a draw. And then against Arsenal, I think we're going to win. I think we have a very good record against Arsenal. Of course, I mean, they're a decent side, don't get me wrong. But, I think I'm feeling the 3 points coming on. Hopefully we see a bit more Jesse Lingard, giving it some on the dance floor. But look, hopefully that happens. And, I feel like, what would that be? About 7 points out of possible 9, and I'm being quite optimistic, but I am hopeful for the new season. A lot of United fans do seem a bit down about the new season with the lack of signings, but I'm still hopeful we can at least do something in this season, and hopefully we can start well. And I'm predicting 7 points out of possible 9 from those 3.
Ooh. 17 points from the first 7 games. That's not actually that bad. That's 17 out of 21, which I think we'd take. Mine would be about what? Mine would be about 12 out of 21, which is not great, but it is what it is, really. Into October, I'm quite interested by the way that you think we'll actually beat Arsenal, because Arsenal are always a tough team against us. One of our main dodgy teams, should I say, although not as dodgy against us as Wolves. They are our main bogey team at the minute, especially last season. West Ham away, I think that'll be a draw. Leicester at home should win that. If we don't, then I don't know what's wrong with us. And obviously, no disrespect to either team. There are some very good teams in this league so far, especially with I can't pronounce his name, Tielemans. at Leicester. I think that'll be quite good actually. October. This is where the big one comes in. We have Newcastle away now. Our bogey ground before we lost. I don't think we lost there last season. But we have lost there in the past. I don't think we lost there last season. We lost there the season before. I do remember that, but
yeah.
everything. Oh yes, we did win at Newcastle because we won Willigan and Solskjaer on his 14-match winning one until they gave him the contract, and then it all fell apart. Newcastle away, not going to be easy. They've got some very good talent. Obviously, Salomon Rondon might be looking at going back. Sorry, not Salomon Rondon, Dwight Gale. They've got Salomon Rondon, who's a very good player. Jose Perez, I believe, still plays with them. Matt Ritchie, I believe, still plays them. There's some of the players I keep forgetting. But they do have some very good talent in them. And I think they'll definitely give United a run for the money. And then the 19th of October is the big one, the big Red Derby. It's the Reds of Manchester against the Reds of Merseyside, the current Champions League winners. So with the fact it's at home, I think we could get at least a draw with that. If it was at Anfield, I think we'd get tortured like we did last time. But it might be different on the rally because we did get an 0-0 draw against them last time, albeit quite lucky. So I'll take a draw out of that one. And then we have Scotty B's team, the team that Nick Muller absolutely detests, Norwich. Norwich away. It is a derby. Nick Muller's saying that it's not a derby. It is. I'm sure it's the big red derby or something like that.
Yeah, it's always definitely. It's definitely a rivalry. Yeah,
does he always call it Derby Day? I swear to Derby.
I don't know.
Must be. Well, they're not that far away from each other. Logan will probably know because he's a Liverpool fan himself. And thanks for joining, by the way. Please leave a like and Freddie done so. So Liverpool home, I'd take a 0-0 draw out that one. And then Norwich away. We should win, although that won't be an easy game at Carrow Road because I know we've struggled before, but I do think we'll beat them. And Scotty B even said that it'll be a tough game against United. So I think we'll beat Norwich. I think we'll beat Newcastle. And I think we'll draw against Liverpool. So I think that'll be 7 points out of 9. No, excuse me. 7 points out of 9 going into November. How do you think we'll do in these 3 games?
Well, 7 points out of 9 is would be brilliant. I'd take that all day long from those 3 games. I agree with you. I feel like we're going to beat. I feel like away from home against Newcastle. For me, I feel like we can get all 3 points in that game. It's going to be tough, of course. Going to St James Park is very, very difficult, and especially those passionate Newcastle fans. They really get behind your team and make a really intimidating atmosphere. And it's going to be difficult. It was difficult last time we played them, and I feel like we can just go over the line in that one. The game against Liverpool, as much as I'd love to say that we beat them and, absolutely humiliate them, I don't think it's going to happen. I feel like I would agree. I feel like a draw is probably the best hope. And I think it probably is going to be a low-scoring draw. It seems like with these games against Liverpool, they're always hyped up loads, and then they never deliver on the goals front and the entertainment front. So for me, I feel like it's not going to deliver once again. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw at Old Trafford. And then against Norwich, I feel like we're going to lose that game. Now, you might be surprised at me saying it, but we always have that one promoted team that we always play that, we seem to just get undone by. And I feel like away from home against Norwich, they played really well in the Championship, fair play to them. I feel like potentially they could be the ones to, kind of turn us over at their home ground. Last season, we were quite poor against the promoted sides. Yes, we did beat Cardiff 5-1, but we weren't able to get the job done against Huddersfield. And who was the other promoted side last season? I can't remember. But
Well,
oh
Huddersfield
no,
didn't get promoted last season.
of course it didn't. Yeah, it was Cardiff. Oh God, I can't remember.
Wolves.
Oh yeah, of course, Wolves and Cardiff, Wolves and Fulham. Fulham.
Yeah.
To be fair, I mean, okay. To be fair, then we didn't have too bad a record against newly promoted sides, but I still there's always that one promoted team which causes us problems away from home, and I feel like that's going to be Norwich. As I said, they've got a decent side, and I've just worried that we might lose that game. I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like we could lose that game. So I'm going to go with one win, one draw, one loss, and I'm going to go from 4 points out of 9 for that one.
Yeah. That's interesting. Give me a sec. I'll just turn on the camera if it's not on me. It's already on. The thing with Norwich is you have to be careful against them, and Borough certainly weren't. We lost 1-0 against them both times. We were just crap that season. But when you look at Norwich, fantastic team, absolutely brilliant team. Ornel Hernandez scored a good goal against the Borough. You got Timo Pukki, the championship top scorer, with just over 22 goals, I think, something around those lines. He's a prolific scorer for them. And I think if he leaves Norwich, which I highly doubt it, but if he leaves Norwich, I think they will struggle. However, Daniel Farke will know that the Premier League is a tough league. It's the toughest league in the world. Norwich will have to bring in some signings. If they don't bring any signings, they'll struggle. Because look at Wolves. They brought loads of players in, and they're high flying. They're in the top 6, top 7. But, they're in Europa League football, I believe now. So, it just shows that a couple of signings can actually make the use, can actually make teams better. Let's have a look here. Some of the comments coming in. David O's going to get me a new shirt. That'll take me up to 7. Welcome to Fergie United. Good evening, Zhao. Thank you very much for joining the stream, Zhao Nasita. Max Owens is a good player. Indeed. Oh, yeah, he's a fantastic player. He got a team of the season as well. He was in team of the season. Excuse me. Nicholas for Sheffield United are the one to look out for. I actually don't think they'll be that great in the Prem. But I'll say we're not getting up to Sheffield United yet. Bo were not crap. We were. No, Bo were crap. Literally, it was below average season for us. We should have totally got the playoffs, and we didn't because of Tony Clueless, or Tony Clueless is what we call him. Anyways, see, into November then. Bournemouth away, tough game. And it has been for the last couple of seasons. We won last season under Mourinho. And I think this season, I think we'll do the same. I think we'll win 1-0, and I think it'll be a tight game. 9th of November at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, that should certainly be a win. It's only away from home that we don't win. But at home, we're normally prolific against them, so that should be a comfortable victory. Sheffield United on the 23rd of November, that I believe is after the international break. Sheffield United away, I mean, I've been to Sheffield United's ground. It's quite a decent ground, to be honest with you. But it's not easy going there and trying to get a result. That's what we've shown the last 2 seasons. Getting no points. They can be dark horses in any league, especially at home. So I think, although they'll probably struggle in the Prem, they could nick something off United. I'll admit I highly doubt it, but I think they could nick something from us. Optimistic-wise, I would definitely say win, but I think they could be dark horses against us. I think they could nick a draw. I think could be 1-1. And then the final game in November is Aston Villa at home. We're well known for beating Aston Villa, and I think we'll do it again. I think that'll be a comfortable win against the Villains. Obviously, it'd be interesting seeing John Terry back at Old Trafford, and everyone's singing, "Hey, with John Terry!" Oh no, right. If you all know what that relates to, then good. If you don't, then never mind. Just mind.
Classic
So
reference. Classic reference.
we should beat Aston Villa comfortably. So that means that we'll get a win against Bournemouth, win against Aston Villa, win against Brighton, and a draw against Sheffield United, which would be 10 points out of 12, and that's going into the Christmas period. So I'd take that. Thoughts on November, mate?
Yeah, I think November for me, I'm looking at November, and I think probably that's our easiest month on paper. I'd say, you play two newly promoted sides, Brighton at home as well, which you have a really good record, and away to Bournemouth, who, whilst they are a difficult customer, under Eddie Howe, they are very, very good defensively, and their home fans are really, really good as well. We have a very good record against Bournemouth once again. So I actually can see potentially 12 points out of a possible 12. Now, the one game I'm actually worried about is that Sheffield United game because, as you said, it's always very, very difficult, going to their ground, and especially, a newly promoted side seeing Manchester United come to their home ground. They're going to make one hell of an atmosphere for that game. So it's going to be really, really tricky. So I think that game's really the only one that I'm a bit conflicted by. But anyway, I think we are going to beat Sheffield, and I feel like from that November period, I think we're going to get 4 wins, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. But one thing I do want to say about Sheffield United is that I'm very, very excited to see them back in the Premier League, considering that they've been out of the Premier League for so long. It brings back so many memories. So yeah, Sheffield United back in the Premier League, and good luck to them. Of course, Dean Henderson potentially he's on loan at Man United. Potentially would be Sheffield United's goalkeeper. So good luck to him. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these newly promoted sides try and battle out in the Premier League, and it's going to be good. But unfortunately, Sheffield United fans, I think United are going to have the beating of them. So I think it's going to be 12 points for a possible 12. But potentially, I'm leaning towards you as well in 10 points. But if I had to go with one, I reckon we're going to get the full house in November.
To be honest with you, this I'd say mainly is our easiest month in the league. Your face looked changed. I have no idea what he's on about there. By the way, Rashford, thanks for joining the stream. Nick Moores put, what if Borough get United in the League Cup draw? The draw is Saturday. Borough don't play till round 2, I don't think. Unless that's changed. No, I believe it's round 2 that we play. Oh, no, it might be one. No, I think it is round 1. I don't know, but United don't come in till round 2, round 3. Something along those lines. I can't remember. I haven't even seen the actual teams. So we should get at least 9 points from November. December is, I would say, maybe not the toughest month, but probably the second toughest. Because we have Tottenham on the 3rd at home, which we might get a draw. And then we are away in the Manchester derby, literally 4 days after. So we'll probably get a draw against Spurs. We'll get tonked at Man City like always. Everton at home should win that one, unless it's anything like what it was at Goodison Park. Watford away, expecting to win that, to be quite honest. Newcastle at home should win. Burnley away is always a tough one, though. I think we could get a draw there. And that would mean that we end up with 1, 4, 7, 9, 10 points out of 18. Not great, but considering some of the teams we're playing, I would take it going into the new year. Very tough December.
Yeah, very tough, very very tough. I mean, you talk about two really really difficult games, one after the other, and it seems like every season, we get one of those, and it's difficult. If you do get maximum points, it's absolutely massive in the context of the season. If you do lose both those games, then it can really hurt your season as well. So it's a critical period, and I hope from those two games we can get at least 4 points. I feel like, Man City, the Manchester Derby, we've had a really bad record playing City. And they're just a class above us at the moment. And I think they will still be a class above us next season, even if we do, bring in, maybe two or three more players. They're just a brilliant side. So unfortunately, I don't see us beating Manchester City. Although, if we do turn up and Man City have a bit of a bad day, we could potentially get a draw. So, being optimistic as I am, I feel like we could nick a 1-1 draw against Man City. Against Spurs as well, they're a very, very good side under Pochettino. Got to the final of the Champions League. You got to tip your cap to Pochettino. Fantastic, without spending any money as well. So imagine what they'd be like if they actually did proper recruitment in the summer transfer window. I feel like we can beat them, and I think we are going to beat them. And so I think out of those two games, I think we're going to get 4 points. And then what were the other games? Sorry.
Where are you up to?
Oh no, I just talked about Spurs and Man City.
Right, you're up to Everton at home, then Watford away, Newcastle home, Burnley away.
Well, those four games, I'd say from those four games, I reckon we can get 10 points out of 12. I think the game that potentially will give us, I think Burnley will give us a big test. I think over the past few seasons, they've really tested us. They've got a really good squad. They're really good defensively as well. So I think that one is the one we're probably going to draw. But the other ones, I feel like we can get 10 points out of possible 12. So what would that be? 16 points out of a possible 20 in December, which, you know what, wouldn't be too bad whatsoever.
It's out of 18.
Is it? Oh yeah, wait. Oh, it is. Sorry, yeah, I counted wrong. Sorry, yeah. So I mean, yeah, it makes it even better. Actually, no. So it wouldn't be. If there were two draws, it'd be 14 points out of 18. So 14, which still
Still
I'll take
take
all
it.
day long.
Still take it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's fair to say City away, we're going to get totally annihilated. But I think we probably will because we're no good against them. January, I think this is the toughest month, to be quite honest, this one. Because we got, I'd say out of the four games, Norwich probably the most easier one. Burnley's not going to be easy. So starting in January, we have New Year's Day at the Gunners. And that
Interesting one. Interesting.
not gonna be probably not going to be a great day, that one. So we don't normally play that well there unless Jesse Lingard can get his dancing shoes on. And then we got Norwich at home on the 11th, which we should win that. And then it's the return of the Big Red Derby at Anfield, where I think we'll get absolutely tortured yet again. I think Liverpool beat us on that one again. Everything they could do the double of was, to be quite honest. I wouldn't be surprised. And then Burnley at home, which won't be a straightforward win. But I think we've got it in the bag to win it. So that'll be 6 points out of a possible 12, which is not a bad start to 2020. How do you think we'll get on against Arsenal and Liverpool, the two toughest games in that month?
Well, it's mad to be fair. If you think about it, coming out of a month where we've had to play Spurs and Man City, to play Arsenal and Liverpool, it's going to be a very very tough kind of Christmas New Year period. But and I think away to Arsenal and Liverpool as well. That is going to be so difficult. I think I agree with you. I think away to Liverpool, we're probably going to get beaten. Unfortunately, again, I think they're just too good for us. Away to Arsenal, obviously last season we didn't have too much of a good game. Obviously, came that it was kind of that game was really the first game that started a chain of absolutely shocking performances under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And yeah, away to Arsenal has been pretty difficult for us as of late, but hopefully we regain some of that form that we showed in Mourinho's second season. As you said, Jesse Lingard getting his dancing shoes on. So I feel like we're probably going to draw that one. I think it's probably going to be a 1-1 draw. Unfortunately, out of those first two games in December, I can only really see us getting a point. And then was it Norwich at home? You said we playing Norwich at home. I feel like yeah. I think we should win that one as well. I agree with you. I think if we don't win that one, then we don't deserve to be challenging for the top four. Yes, I don't want to underestimate Norwich, but I think really sorts of home games. So out of December, I would say 4 points. I would say 4 points, which obviously is not great, but considering we're going away to Arsenal and Liverpool, going away to two top six sides is going to be very difficult indeed.
2 weeks as well. In 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. That's it. It's probably the toughest month for United. Let me just get my face on. It probably will be the toughest month. But I'll say, I mean, if we don't start 2020 off to a fly, then there's always time to regroup and get the results back up to where we want them to be. Just have a look at a lot of the comments coming in. I've missed loads of comments. I do apologise. What's Rose put? Keane, when will you be back streaming? Nick Mull's put round one is for all the teams, is it? He's on about the Carabao Cup one, Liam Mountain, by the way. European fixtures might make it tough. I don't know when the fixtures are out for that. That won't be till probably August. Statue Demonite, thank you very much for joining, George. It's put, how do you think your fixture will be like against Sheffield United? Away from home, tough. But at home, depends really. We don't know what it's going to be like when we play at home to them. And I've just clicked on the wrong button. What have I clicked on here? Classic technical issues tonight. Oh wait, man. Right. Where were we up to? So we were up to here we go. Nick Mills put 3 on the Sheffield United. Rashford Rose put December's my birthday month, but I always get paid off by United. Glenn Matthews put Gary Cahill on a free. Certainly not. I don't want him. Rashford Rose put, if you're making the wheel, put my name on it. I have put your name on there, but there's a chance that I might have to put you down for next series, because we do have two people's going to end up missing out on this series because of the amount of shows we have. Glenn Matthews put, thank you very much for joining, by the way. Why are we so bloody crap? We're supposed to be the biggest club in the world, and I love this channel. Thank you very much. We're a laughing stock on and off the pitch. Real Madrid have already broken their transfer record in the first half of June, whilst we're sitting here going after players like Daniel James and Longstaff. He's not wrong. We do go for some of the youngsters, but I think that's what United need. I think we need to sign some youngsters who can actually, have a bit of upcoming prospect about them. What's Vernon? Thanks for joining the stream. Oh yeah, he's a Leeds. I keep forgetting he's a Leeds fan. What are your thoughts on United v Leeds United friendly? Tough one. I do think United probably have it in the bag, though. And I wouldn't say much, but I do think United will probably win it. Don't think it'll be an easy game at all. That's all the comments for now. Anyway, so we both don't think we'll start off too great. Maybe half marks in January if we're lucky. February, no, this won't be easy. Wolves at home, which we should win. However, we didn't win against them last season because of Jean Moutinho goal. Chelsea away, that'll be a tough one, especially if Frank Lampard's in charge. Watford at home should win that one. Everton away. Everton away, we should win unless it's anything like what it was last time. 4-0. I doubt it'll be 4-0 this time, no, unless we play that bad. So Wolves at home, we might win, but I doubt it. I think we'll draw again. Chelsea away. I hate to say this, but I think we'll get beat at Stamford Bridge. I just think we will. However, I'm saying that Chelsea don't have Eden Hazard, but they still have Hudson-Odoi. So I don't really want to say that we're going to get beat. So I'll try and stay optimistic. I think we'll get a draw. Watford at home should win that one. Everton away. If it's anything like what it was last time, then we'll get trashed again. But I think we'll put in a better performance, and I think we'll probably get a win out of that one. So that would be 8 points from 12, which I would happily take. Let's have a look at some of the comments. So yeah, David's put a message that has been retracted. I don't know why he's retracted it. Pogba money for Jadon Sancho. Nah, I wouldn't be fussed on Jadon Sancho, to be honest with you. Leeds fell apart on the last day. Tip switch, says Nick Muller. True. I'd like to see the Royals play Oxford or Swindon in the first round of the League Cup. And Nick Muller's just put, you'll lose. Although David said that there could be signed Jordan a beat again. So who knows? But it's the Cups, isn't it? Anyway, we're not talking about the Cups. We don't know what's going to happen in the Cup fixtures. So it's just all down to the Premier League, really. These are the Premier League fixtures. So Wolves at home, Chelsea away. It's practically the same fixtures as the first two games, but switched around. I think we'll probably get 8 points out of 12. How many points do you expect us to get? Realistically.
I'm expecting. I think. Well, first off, I think we can probably. Yeah, Wolves at home will probably get a result. I think we'll probably get 3 points of that one. I feel like even though last season we did draw the game, I think actually Wolves at home. It's not going to be easy, but I feel like we can get the 3 points in that one. Chelsea away, I agree with you. I think it's going to be very, very tough. Oh, we've got a horrible record going to Stamford Bridge. We nearly, broke the curse last season, but unfortunately it didn't come off for us. So I feel like, however, Chelsea they're a very, very good side. So I think it depends how we're doing in the season. So if we might get to February and see that we're actually doing really well, and if in that case, I think we'll get the win. But it all depends on what form we have going into that one. So I'm going to predict a draw for the time being. So that's 4 points out of those. Watford at home, I think we're going to beat Watford. Even last season, when we were playing really poorly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we were still able to get through that one. So I think we'll get the 3 points from that, which will be 7 points from that one. And then Everton away, I think. Well, no, I'm optimistic. I feel like we can get the 3 points in that one. Again, it'll depend on what sort of form we are going into it, because going away to Goodison Park is never easy. So. I'm going to say 10 points from a possible 12. I think that game at Stamford Bridge is the only real banana skin in that one. Although the Watford game and the Everton game, no, the Wolves game, the Everton game, sorry, could cause a few problems.
Interesting. Well, I don't really think there's going to be any months where we're going to get 12 out of 12. Obviously, you think we're going to get 12 out of 12 in November. Like a bit of optimism there. March. March is basically the first two games of December. Instead, it's Man City at home, followed by Spurs away, then Sheffield United at home. Only 3 games in that month. The only game I'm expecting us to win is Sheffield United. City, I think we might lose again. Tottenham away. Again, I think we'll lose against Spurs away. So I think I think the only game we're looking at getting something out of is Sheffield United. I think only 3 points out of 9 and that. Well, that's me being probably realistic. If it ain't we don't beat Man City, and I doubt we'll beat Spurs away either. Because White Hart Lane's not the greatest of stadiums for us to go to, although it's now called the toilet seat. So it's a bit different now.
Yeah.
But how many points do you see us getting? And that's including the City and Spurs game. I think the only game we're going to win is Sheffield United.
I think potentially 4 points. I mean, if I'm being, if I'm trying to squeeze every ounce of optimism out of that, I think potentially I think the Man City game for me, I feel like potentially we could get a point if the game's at home.
Which it is.
I just don't see us winning away from home against Spurs. I think we have a really poor record away from home, especially in their new stadium. They're gonna wanna beat us, and they're gonna want to beat everyone. But Man United is one of those teams which everyone wants to beat, and I think they are gonna beat us in their new stadium. So I think I agree with you. I think we will get 3 points against Sheffield United at home. So I think 4 points from possible, 4 points for a possible 9 out of those 3 fixtures. It's obviously not the greatest, but I think looking at the difficulty of some of those fixtures, I think I would take that at this point.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. It's tough. Spurs have a very good record at the toilet seat, so it's not going to be a straightforward game at all. It's going to be quite a tough game. And by the way, I know it's not called the toilet seat, by the way, but everyone calls it that. So I just tag along with it. I mean, be honest with you, one Spurs fan called Smith, who I do watch his vlogs on the board vlogs. He said it's nice to actually have the most expensive toilet seat in the UK. As a Spurs fan, which I thought, why not? Anyways, it does look a bit like a toilet bowl, though. It's still a nice stadium. Mine's still a nice stadium, quite a unique one. So, Sheffield United is the only game I'm expecting us to get anything out of. A draw against Man City would be interesting. April now, this should be our easier month. Although, why am I saying that when I've just realised our first game's at the Amex? Well, there's a straightforward defeat because we never win against him at the Amex. That's been the case for the last 2 seasons. 3-2 and 1-0 and 3-2. So we never win at the Amex. I think that'll be a defeat once again. Bournemouth at home, we should win. Aston Villa away won't be easy, but I think we've got it in. I think we've got it in us to nick a win against John Terry. And Southampton at home. It's not the last home game of the season. Southampton at home, not going to be easy. But I think we could score a late winner on that and do basically not Fergie time, Ollie time instead of Fergie time. It could be a bit of a different twist to the tale. I think we could actually nick a few points out of that. I think we could get 9 points out of 12, and that's going into the final 3 fixtures. Can you see us getting anything at Brighton?
Look, Brighton will always get off for Manchester United. They always want to beat us at the Amex, and to be fair to Brighton, they're a decent side on their day, but it seems like they only had their day against us. So yeah, I feel like we could. I mean, it's a game that on paper you would say that Man United should be favourites for, but it seems like every time we go to Brighton, it's always the same result, and it's frustrating. But do I think it'll change this season? It's hard to say, but I think, to be honest with you, in the law of averages, I have to predict a loss. I have to out of that Brighton game, which isn't a great start to April. And then the other games, I feel like we'll probably get. I think the other games, I reckon we'll get maximum points out of those ones.
Yeah, April's normally the crunch time for us,
Yeah.
and and what is it? It always seems to be like you get into March, get into April time, we seem to fall apart, and that's happened. That happened last season, actually. Um, Brighton away, yeah, I think we're all going to predict a probably defeat for that, but I do think we'll score.
Mm.
Bournemouth will win that. Aston Villa probably tight 1-0. Southampton, that could be another goal fest game if we're lucky. Couple of comments here. I think Chelsea get 15 out of 18. In which month are you on about? Is the Amex becoming your second bogey stadium? Yes, and Molineux at the minute. Glenn Matthews put 3 weeks we join up for training, and he's put, why have we gone so quiet in the market? It's worrying times. There's no organisation at our club anymore, and it's scary. Well, we're well known for not making transfers anyway, so it's our board, really, isn't it? Ed Woodward and the Glaciers, who haven't got a clue how to run a club. Yeah, at least it's not like Ashley. Whose main priorities is getting his Sports Direct mug. Right.
Exactly.
There's no disrespect to him, but that's just one of the passing on jokes. And then we get into May, the final 3-game season. Probably say that again.
Newcastle fans probably agree with you, Daryl, to be honest with you.
Wouldn't be surprised after this season. Although, I'll be honest, I didn't actually have a bad season. Mid-table. Anyway, May, we got Palace away, which isn't easy, but I think we'll win there. West Ham at home, the final game at Old Trafford this season. I think we'll win that. Leicester away, I think we'll end the season on a high, and I think we'll get all the points. I think we'll get 9 points out of 9 to end the season, and that'll round up what's been looking. If all our predictions and stuff are correct, and it would round up what's been quite a decent season if we can finish on a high. But all 3 fixtures, do you think we'll finish on a high and get full points, or do you think there's 1 or 2 games where we could drop points?
Well, I think Leicester away on the last days. Obviously, it's going to be a difficult one. I think, obviously, it's whenever you're playing someone's last home game of the season, their home fans, of course, are going to be up for it. It makes for a very intimidating atmosphere. So that game is going to be by no means easy. And so I hope by that stage that we've got everything wrapped up and we don't need to be getting a win on the last day of the season. Hopefully we've got everything wrapped up by that stage. But yeah, I think if we can get the win in that Leicester game, I think the other 2 games will probably be 3 points. I think we will be looking to finish on a high. Although of course football's not played on paper, so as I said, it depends on what sort of form we're going into, and also it has been the kind of the trend the last few seasons that we do start to fall apart, as you said, around April and May time. So it probably isn't going to be as easy as it seems. So we'll have to watch out for that. But I think on paper, I think we probably are going to finish strong to the season. I'm going to go with 7 points out of possible 9 from those last 3 games.
So which game do you think will drop points again?
I actually think that Palace game potentially. I think. Oh no, wait. Sorry. So we've got Palace at home. Sorry, it's not away. It's not away. It's home. Oh, so yeah, Palace away. That I think Palace away. I think that could be a game we drop points. That could be a game we drop points. West Ham at home. I think we've got a decent record.
Yeah.
Palace away. I feel like that might be the one that we drop points on, if any, because they're decent. They're a very, very good side at home, and their fans, some of the best fans in the league. So yeah, I feel like if we are going to drop points, I reckon it's going to be that Palace game.
Yeah, we nearly dropped points at Palace last season. I think it was last season with Matic long ranger. Might have been the wrong season.
Mourinho's second season, yeah.
Oh, so that wasn't this season. Can't remember what happened against Palace this time. Anyways, so you think 7 out of 9, I think 9 out of 9. So this is the final one, and this is for everyone in the live chat. And I know I've just got comments here. Give me a second. 15 out of 18 in our first 6 games of the season, which I think will probably one of those points will be against United. 8.5 weeks before the season starts, as Glenn Matthews. Glenn's also put, Woodward is good at maths. Ollie won't be impressed when he returns to work in about 3 weeks. What do you think of Ruben Neves? Very good player, and he's the type of player we should sign. But I doubt we'd get him. No way, Jose, said Nick Mullen. And that is practically it. Final thing I'm going to say. This is not easy. So obviously, I'll ask you first before I actually, so I'll start have a think about what actual amount of points I think we'll get. Out of 114 points, which is the maximum amount of points you can get in the Premier League season. Obviously, that's winning all 38 games, which I doubt any team's going to do that unless you're Arsenal back in 2004. Out of 114 points, given the fixtures this season, how many points do you think United will finish on? A second.
Well, I feel like United.
Sorry, just to cut you off. I was also going to say, which position do you think will finish as well?
Oh yeah, okay. Well, it's a very hard to predict. I feel like we'll get into the 70s this season. I think it's going to be a very competitive league. I think once again, I hate saying it, but I think it's going to be Liverpool and Man City battling it out for the league title once again. I think United will come fourth in the league next season. I think we can get 75 points. And you know what? Getting back into the Champions League obviously will be the main priority. Hopefully we win a trophy along the way in regards to the FA Cup or the League Cup, and just make progress with the football that we're playing. So yeah, I'm thinking fourth place with 75 points.
Okay. Interesting. So, a second. I got distracted because I ended up with the sound came on from the streams. Ended up missing what you said the last bit. How many points did you say again? Does the
I'm going to say 75 points and finish fourth in the table.
Okay, fair enough. Finish fourth, just about scraping the top 4 then.
Yeah.
So, to be honest, that's probably what we do anyway. Depending on who we bring in this season, we'll decide if I'm going to be confident or not. If I was going to be optimistically, I would say probably, optimistically, 86 points. That's optimistically. Realistically, I think we'll only finish on 68. I think we'll end up with the same average season as this time, as we only finished on 66 this season. So I think we'll get a few more points on. We'll get another 2 points. Talk about a big majority there. But I do think realistically we're only going to get 68 points because it's the type of season United have had for the last 2 seasons, really. Oh no, they didn't have it the other season. We finished second behind City, but that was by about nearly 20 points. So, to be honest, I do think we'll finish just below the 70s, and I don't know whether it's going to be enough for us to finish in the top 4. I think we're looking at another 5th place finish. If I'm being honest, I think it could be 5th place. I want us to finish in the top 4. And I think if I was going for the optimistic one, which is 86 points, then we'd finish probably second, maybe. But I think realistically, 68 points probably won't be enough for top four, and I think we'll be finishing in the Europa League once again. And our main target will be just trying to win the Europa League and get into the Champions League. But of course, we've got Arsenal to play with this season, and Wolves, who will probably join us as well. So it's not going to be an easy season. And plus, we haven't even got the Champions League, Europa League, and the cup fixtures yet. So this is all without it. Those cup fixtures, we might lose in one of the early rounds, which you never know, might give us, a bit of a kick up the backside for the Premier League games. Because some of the games, probably focus more on the Premier League than the cup games sometimes. So that's normally what we do because we're not daft. But, anything can happen really in the Premier League. But I think realistically, 5th place, 68 points of 114. And you've gone for 72. So there's not much difference between our two scores. But I think 68 points. Let us know what how many points you think. Boy, if you don't get your no hairline having self out of it. I'm not sure. What is he on about? What's he on about?
No idea.
No idea what you're on about.
My hairline's fine. Look at that.
I don't know what you're on about, Martha Aguta, but thanks for joining the stream anyway. But I think that will be it. We've gone on for just over 1 hour. It's been a fantastic live stream. Really enjoyed it. The championship fixtures reaction will come out soon. Probably it will be after Thursday. But of course, the only thing with Thursday night as well is if the draw's Thursday night, and we might have to combine the video. What I'll probably have to do is obviously we'll go live at 7 p.m. on Thursday night for the transfer show. And what we'll do is we'll end the transfers at 22, do the mystery guest wheel thing before 1:45, and then whenever the draw starts, we'll just stay live and do the draw as we go on. So it'll be a bit of a mess about. Depends what time the draw is. If the draw's like, if the draw's at like 22, then obviously it depends what time, might have to start a bit earlier, might have to start a bit, you never know. It'll probably be a bit of a mess about, but hopefully it'll make more sense when it actually happens on Thursday. There will be a live FA Cup draw predictions. Might not be tomorrow. It might be Wednesday night. It might be actually Wednesday evening, actually about 5-ish. But I'm going to try and get it done on tomorrow or Wednesday. I'll have to find out what's actually happening with the draw. So if someone can actually... oh, crap, the draw's at 7 p.m. The draw the show might start at 7 p.m., but I don't know what time the draw actually commences. Okay, what we'll do... Sure. This will be a pain in the bum then. So we might have to start at 6:30 on Thursday, if that's all right with you. Because I want to be able to be done with...
I'll let you know whether there's any problems with that or...
if there is, I can try and arrange it for a different time or a different day. But
yeah, no worries.
Let me know as soon as possible. Do both, we'll probably, we'll see what happens anyway, but if we have to rearrange it, I will let you know in one of the videos or streams if it's uploaded. I've just realised I have not uploaded the Bayern Munich season review, and it's been probably over a month, pretty much, nearly a month since the season's finished. It's because I've had issues trying to upload it, because every time I try to upload it, it comes up saying they're uploading video. It's typical YouTube for you. So hopefully it'll work when I try and upload it probably tomorrow or whenever I'm available. I'm not doing any streams or stuff. So as I say, some stuff coming up. But listen, thank you very much for coming on, Kieran. Sorry about all this messing about before and all that, but no, doesn't matter anyway about it. Thank you for coming on such short notice as well. But it's 92 teams. It's a quick draw. Oh yeah, it's I forgot about that. It's all the top 4 leagues, isn't it? I'm thinking of the FA Cup. Yeah. But yeah, thanks very much for coming on, Kieran. Absolute pleasure. And, if we don't get to see you on Thursday, of course, the transfer show will probably be a different day if we have to, but keep me informed, mate, if you don't mind. Thanks very much for coming on.
Daryl. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks for having me on, Daryl. Really appreciate it. As always, I'll keep you informed about all the sort of different timing and stuff. And yeah, really enjoyed it as always. And yeah, if you are watching, make sure you do subscribe to Daryl's channel, leave a like, all that good stuff. Really, really good content. And thanks for having me on once again.
Not a problem. Thank you very much for coming on. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for watching in the live chat. Get your comments in the live chat. I'll stay on the live chat for another 2 minutes. And then of course I'll just go off the stream at 22. So we'll end the stream here and then go off the live chat at 22. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please leave your comments in the comments section down below. Are you happy with these ties? Which ones do you think is going to be the toughest months? And where do you think United's going to finish in table? And what points will we get out of 114? We'll see you in the next one. Before I see you under the football stand, have a great night. See you later.